So, we are officially live. I want to first check my sound here. See what it sounds like to you guys. I'm going to turn it up all the way. I'm going to turn this up all the way. Having it up all the way sounds okay. No, it did. No, it doesn't. All right, how about now? Check, check, 1, 2. Okay, there's a time delay, but I think that's much better. Hearing a background noise, and I'm wondering if that's my headphones or if that's the computer. You guys let me know. I can get a lot of like static white noise. Feels like the audio drops in and out. Check, check, 1, 2. All right, the whole point of this today is to play around with it a little bit and get to know this new system. First up is our audio. Let's see what we got here. All right, getting that snap. I just had to do it. Check, check, 1, 2. 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 All right. I think I'm getting it now. So I think what I want is lower gain on the mic. And higher output to the stream. Check, check, 1, 2. That's good sound. All right, so now I'm going to turn myself down to 50%, which is what I normally listen to audio at. I assume that not everybody listens to their audio on full blast. All right, yeah, that's sounding good. I heard that gulp though. The mic is very sensitive. So I'm going to lower my own headphones a bit. When I lower my own headphones, a lot of that static goes away. Some of it is still there. I don't remember it being a problem with other videos, so I'm thinking it's the stream. You guys let me know. Do you hear that kind of staticky white noise in the background? Yes or no? There's nobody in the chat right now, but whenever you get here. All right. Now, camera looks good. Check, check, 1, 2. Okay, I still have audio, but my audio went down when I switched camera definition. I'm gonna go back up to 1080p. Check, check, 1, 2. Audio is still way down. Nothing changed. Let me go to auto. I don't like that my audio changed when I adjusted my camera definition. All right, how's this? Check, check, 1, 2. So, check, check, 1, 2. Okay, I think the audio is best there. You guys let me know. I clicked on beautification. Let me see what that does. Apparently, it takes a lot of resources and it doesn't accomplish anything. So, all right, I just turned off my echo cancellation, which is not recommended to be used while using headphones. And I must say, I don't hear the static anymore, but my volume is down again. Let's see. Background noise reduction. Check, check, one, two. Background noise reduction test. All right, I don't want my audio to have to be higher than 50% to be heard through my speakers. So I need higher microphone output. All right. Wavelength stream. Just turned off auto gain control. Let me see what that's going to do to my sound. Not much. Let's see. Okay. Check, check, one, two. Check, check, one, two. All right. Well, my stream output is all the way up, so I'm going to turn up the gain on my actual mic. Just two little clicks. Check, check, one, two. Yeah, it's better. Check, check, one, two. See, now that sounds good, but now you can hear my kids screaming in the background. Check, check, one, two. Okay, I could barely hear their voices on that one, just barely, but I can hear myself fairly well. Oh, hey, uh, Ava, how you doing? Trying out a new streaming service, so I'm playing around with the settings and everything. Hi, how are you? Maggie, how are you? Welcome. Good morning. Okay, so my first question to you guys just coming in: do you hear any static or white noise in the background? Because I was having trouble with that earlier, and I think I just worked it out. It should be good audio, and you shouldn't have to have the audio turned all the way up to hear me. It should be decent sound. Let me know. All right, Eva says it sounds clear. Okay, now what I need to do is get the mic in a place where I don't have to do this to talk to it. This is the free tier, so I can't get rid of their little watermark, and I can't upload like my own background stuff yet or whatever. Or at least I don't think I can. But I'm gonna play around with this stuff. Let's see what we got. Okay, so this completely blocks my second monitor, but now that all the things are done, I shouldn't need it. And I can mute the YouTube feed now that sound is good. right. Mm-mm-mm. All right, opening up the comments in here. Looks good. Let's play around with this. We can show the hay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Now, does it look better raising the display like that, which I like? But with the background being clear, we could not do that. So let's see. Pop, pop, pop. Hmm. Here we go. All right, let's try this. I like that better. I like that better. Cool, cool, cool. All right, looks good. Looks good. So yeah, this is my return to YouTube. Um, StreamYard hiked up their prices, and then a whole bunch of crap went down in the real world for me. Um, you know, everything from the wife getting heart surgery to what the recovery for that was like. She ended up with blood clots and she was on blood thinners for 6 months and taking care of her, all that stuff. And then now my accident recently and recovering from that. It's been a roller coaster, guys. So it's good to be back. Larger comments and profile images and other options. I could actually see the profile photo. Yeah, yeah, I like it. Well, there's a couple different design options. She's doing much better now. Thank you for asking, Ava. Yeah, she has a heart condition, and for many years she tried to manage it on her own, holistically, and all that stuff. And of course, her quality of life did improve, but it wasn't a cure. And when she finally decided to have the surgery, she had the surgery, and the surgery it didn't fix her problem. It didn't make her any better. And the recovery process gave her blood clots. So then she had that to recover from. And now that she's all better from that, and she's off the blood thinners again, it took like 6 months. Now it's back to just what life was like before the surgery, which and then the doctors are like, well, we can try again. I'm like, we're good, thanks. Um, so yeah, but no, she's doing much better. She's just back to what she was before, um, living with it. Um, okay, so I was gonna say the um, there's a couple different styles for the comments, so I'm gonna go through a couple options. We have this one, smaller picture, more classic like newsreel kind of look. I don't like it. This one is really cool, but it's like a lot. It's like really animated. It I don't know. It feels kind of a lot, but I do like the round image. I like the animation just takes too long, I think. I like let me go back. I like this one, and then I like no, I don't like that one. So I like this one for some reasons and dislike it for others. I think I like this one the best. It's the biggest picture. That's true. And I just like the kind of like see-through background. It's unintrusive. Like you can still see everything behind it. I like it. I really want to get rid of that watermark. I haven't even looked at their prices yet. I've just been playing around with it, so I have no idea if I can even afford this place, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Um, our friend was on them for 9 months, so we have to be thankful for the small blessings that it only took her 6. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. We've been married 10 years, have a long history before that. We have 2 kids. and we've been together through the hardest years of our life. I strongly believe that our best years are still ahead of us, and I'm working really hard to make them happen. Um, but we've been happy through the struggles, so I look forward to, you know, calmer seas someday, because man, won't that be something? That second one is also dependent on background for readability. I think the round avatar appeals to you. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the round avatar is nice. Yeah, it's true. It depends on the background for readability. You're right, because it's just completely open. It's completely out there. But the round, the round logo is the round image is very appealing. It also depends on what I end up with the background, because this is like some generic thing that they have. Um, I If I end up paying for this deal, I'll be customizing all of this into my own style, as I do, as y'all know I do. The third one is nice, says Maggie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, she's a sweetheart. Um, it's like the Kendrick Lamar thing, right? Like they ask him about his relationship with his wife, and he's like, "You gotta understand, we're high school sweethearts, and we were together while we were broke. Now that we're rich, like we were together while we were broke. Like we know where we came from. We remember it. We remember the one bedroom apartment and the two kids or the four kids or whatever he has. Yeah. So you know, they keep the animation on all the time. No option to turn that part off for comments. Good. Yeah, no, good question. I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, I do not see an option to turn it off. Um, oh, let me go. I'm not even in the right place. Here we go. So I have my logo. Where is the? Hmm. I want to play with this layers thing. I don't really get it yet. Background, foreground, overlay. Okay, I get it. But still, I'm lurking and cooking because the eldest is leaving for 2 weeks and needs 14 meals. Yikes! Dude needs to learn to cook. My husband and I used to make 30K with us both working together since I was 19. He was 20. Really have been through it all. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what it's like. It's kind of what it's like. I mean, shit, that's what we're making now. She can't work with her condition. She just can't. Um, so I'm the sole breadwinner. Um, and this 9 to 5 thing is not cutting it. Slightly above the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're still at the bottom. We're working on it. That is the kind of relationship that lasts, hubby and I. Right, year 26, married, and year 27 since our first kiss. I don't need these anymore. I'm not talking to anybody. Maggie, dang, 2 weeks of travel with mom's cooking, bro. Lucky. Hey, Batian. They think she has COVID gastritis, which requires medications and very specialized diet. All right, I'm gonna shut up. You do you, mama. Take care of that kid. I'm gonna shut my ass up. She's with a pair of dogs and a cat that cannot be left alone for her contract. Yikes. Okay. Very kind. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Moms moms are superheroes. Moms do that. Moms be like that, right? All right, let me see here. First of all, I need to be able to see the whole screen, and my camera is blocking. So I'm going to do that. Good. Now I can see everything. Great. All right. So going back into the brand here, I can change the colors. So let's go ahead and do that while we hang out and talk. And for those of you who have just come in and joined me, welcome. But also, I have no plan here. I'm just goofing around. So please don't feel obligated to to stay or talk about whatever you want, throw whatever you've got at me. Like I said, no plans. I'm just kind of freeballing it here. It's my first time back in a long time, and it's a new system and all that. So shit, what was I doing? Colors, right? Opening up my brand guidelines, which have the hex numbers. All right, so I want to use my red, and I want to use my tan, my parchment tan. And so Mystic Rose is my red. I gotta plug that in there. Okay, cool. And then scene's default background color. Maybe I don't want that to be my parchment tan, but let's give it a try. We can always change it. Okay. Now let's see. All right, so we got the red going. I think the tan is not showing up because it's the actual background. Oh yeah, here's the top logo thing. Okay, so there is an option to hide it, but of course you have to upgrade your plan. So no, for the free plan you cannot hide their little animation thingy. It stays there the whole time. I can't upload a video clip. I can put this up, but I don't want that up. But that's showing me what's capable with layers. So let's remove that one. Let's see if they allow me an overlay. Nope. Upgrade plan required. So yeah, it's bare bones basic for the free tier. There's this one. There's this one. All right. All right. If we hide the animation, we get the color. All right. Hey Shannon, how are you? Welcome. My hair is gone. Yeah, it's been gone for a while actually, but you guys haven't seen me. I haven't been around. So returning to YouTube, yeah, what's that going to look like in the future? Well, I am still figuring that out because in my history, I have made plans, I have announced those plans, and then really horrible things have happened that have stopped me from fulfilling those plans. So I am just not going to do that shit no more. I'm going to work on my stuff, and when my stuff is done, I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to just shut the hell up about when it's coming out until it's done. But there are some big changes coming. Not anytime soon, but I'm working because I've been doing this indie author thing for a long time, and this YouTube thing, and I need to make some big moves because life is hard and it needs to be less hard really fast. So um, I'm working on stuff. Yeah. I've just been okay. So Since you haven't seen me, I don't know how up to date you are. The newsletter has been on hiatus too. I sent one out recently with a minor update, but so here's what happened. Um, I've been off YouTube for a while, taking care of my wife with her recovery from her heart surgery and the blood clots and everything that happened after that. And then after she got all better, um, uh, and I thought that we were, on the mend with all that. And I started recovering financially because that period took a lot out of us financially, ate away our entire savings. And we were back to paycheck. Um, so just when I was like, hey, this job is not paying enough, I'm going to switch to something that pays better. And I did. I immediately had a scooter accident. I wiped out on my scooter. I fractured my fibula. I scraped off several layers of skin from my leg and arm. Um, I have had crazy bruising everywhere. I was on crutches. I got a boot on. I'm limping, the whole thing. I'm recovering, but yeah, I've just been away. I've been trying to focus on my writing, but all that other stuff has just been in the way. So things have been very slow going with novel number two and all that kind of stuff, and so. And less work, and less work means less money, and it's just so much. It's just so much. Percentage. This is about her eldest we were talking about earlier. Yeah, very strict diet, it sounds like. My youngest has the big three allergies when it comes to food: peanuts, dairy, and fish or shellfish. And peanuts and dairy are like in everything. So finding him food is a challenge as well. Hello, Shannon. Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. I miss being in it. Uh, I'm I'm coming back. I've been doing stuff with the Right Now community, because that dude, Kaufman, he's a machine, and he streams every day, and he has all this stuff going on, and I admire the dude for his, you know go get itness, and so I've jumped in, in his community as a viewer for at first, and then I hopped into his book club, um, since I'm trying to read more books, and then they covered my book on his book club, which was great. And then yeah, so I'm doing that. So that's been like I've been dabbling in YouTube over there. Speaking of my accidental bed rest vacation, how is your leg? It's better. It's better every day, a little better. I'm arguably I'm recovering faster than they said I would. They said this would be a 6-week thing. Um, I'm about halfway through that, and I feel a lot better. Like I'm pretty much walking without the crutch. Um, I'm walking without the boot in the house, but I've been going to work, and so I wear the boot to work, and I keep it on the whole time. I've never had my gut checked, but I think my issues are also since I had C-19. Oh, COVID-19. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. It's a chronic illness with me though, Shannon, it's a chronic illness with me. Um not for lack of trying. I'm working really hard. Stuff just gets in the way. um and that stuff leads to other stuff. I had a several month long relapse of depression, and that kept me away from. I mean, like I was still getting up at 5 in the morning during that time to sit in front of my computer at 5:30 as if I was going to write from 5:30 to 6:30, but I just sat there and stared at the screen and didn't do anything for like months. Um, I'm writing again now though, and the novel is coming along really nicely. I've got about 20,000 words down, more than that, but that's I'm rounding down, and I'm aiming for the 150 of the original novel. I don't want it to exceed 200K, but I'm being a little flexible with this second novel right now. I've written the whole zero draft. So what I'm working on now is the official first draft. So I have the full story, and it's big. It's really really big. But the zero draft is the condensed version of that, and so I don't know what the word count is going to end up being. So, but it's big. Yeah, surprise, surprise, right? Maybe you can say what you'd like to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I'd like to do with coming back to YouTube, um, I don't know what the programming is going to look like um, once once I. All right, so here's what's up, guys. I'm gonna stop talking around it because it's annoying and it bothers me. Look, you guys know that I'm the indie author guy and I want to do everything myself and I do everything myself. And you know I'm proud for every book that I've sold, but I need to pay bills. Um, and so for a while now I've been wrestling with the idea of going traditional publishing, you know, getting a literary agent and doing the whole nine. And for when I first started the indie gig, you know, the big thing was, oh, I want to be in control of my material and I don't want anyone to tell me what I can put in my books and blah blah blah. And that's great. But every traditionally published author that I have interviewed on my channel and that I have spoken to in private and who I have met at book festivals and book fairs, every single one of them says that's not a thing. It's just not. Like they have professional editors that will give you, you know, their advice on what to do with certain things, but nobody's telling you what to put in, what not to put in your books. Um, you know, you relinquish some control over the covers in the early days, but okay, you know, like ultimately, I'm looking to make this a career. I'm looking to wake up in the morning, write for 6 hours, and and be done with my day. Um, so I have started sending out query letters. I have been sending out the first part. I have my novel is broken up into 5 parts. I have the first part is done and ready to go, and I've been sending that out, or portions of that, as each agent wants different things. And I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt for a literary agent. I've only been looking for a week. Not looking for a week. I've only been sending out letters for a week. I send a letter every day to a different agent. Every agent, I pick one from my list. I go through all their information. I look up all of their work, and I write a completely unique query letter tailor made for that agent, and I send it to them. Every day, I do a different one. My goal is to write 50, and I want a minimum of 8 offers. That's how I roll. That's what I want. And so that is going to be somehow reflected on the channel with its programming. So to answer your question, Shannon, finally, after all of this blabber, um, for now, I'm playing it by ear on the channel. I'm going to do writing sprints and stuff like that. I'm going to maybe do a reading blog. I have ideas kicking around, but I don't want to do anything too labor intensive. It's probably going to be mostly live streams. I'm probably not going to produce too many videos until I have like people to help me do that stuff, and I can make, you know, audiobooks and videos, animated videos of the audiobooks and stuff like that. You know, I have time blindness and lack object and emotional permanence. Didn't realize you were away, if I'm honest. Glad to see you're back and that the YouTube algorithm wanted me to know. Ava, I have no words. That's an awesome comment. I don't know what to say. That's fantastic. I'm sorry to hear about what's going on. I hope things get better. Thank you. You know, like I said, my physically I'm getting better every day. My wife is much better these days. She had to take care of me, so she had to be better to do that. So I'm happy to report she's doing much better. Um, and you know, one day at a time. So many people have it and are paying thousands for IPS injections and the like, but it is because COVID inflammation causes the stomach lining to become more acidic. while the okay, so this is an incomplete comment. I'm sure that the rest is later. Yikes, man. Sounds crazy. I'm getting caught up on the comments. I'm not going to read all these because you guys are reading your comments. You know what you're saying. It's that thing, with like sprint streams. It's like, why read all the comments? They know what they're saying. Food allergies is such a problem for parents trying to keep their children. Dude, it's nuts. Every time we go to a restaurant, like we have to lead with that. It's like, okay, before we do anything, this one is riddled with allergies. Here's what's up. Boom, boom, boom. And do you have it? Because it's not as simple as like, oh, just get them the chicken nuggets. Because yeah, most places that would be fine, but some places the batter that they bread the chicken nuggets with has buttermilk in it. You can't have that. Or other places fry their chicken nuggets in the exact same oil that they fry their, fried shrimp, for example. Can't have that. Um, Weird stuff like Chick fil A uses refined peanut oil, and refined peanut oil is okay for him, which is crazy because the peanut allergy is the worst of the bunch. However, they use buttermilk in their their chicken batter, so you can't have that anyway. Um, so it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah, Kaufman told me that you had joined his book club deal. I don't have time to always pop in when he's streaming, but we've talked a few times. Yeah, he's like I said, he's a robot. Like that dude, I don't know how he does it. I know that he writes his book on his writing sprint streams, so that's the only reason why I'm not wondering how he gets any writing done because he just does it like on screen in front of everybody. Um, but if he didn't do that, I would seriously wonder like what writing he's getting done because he does so much YouTube stuff, like so much YouTube stuff. Told him about the book club series you did on your channel, which I was a part of. Yeah, I did too. We, with I was in on the ground floor with his book club, and part of it was he knew that I had one on my channel, so he wanted my input as far as like what works, what doesn't work, and he's been trying different things with his book club, and I just I give him my 2 cents and we try things, and so he excuse me, um, and so we've changed things up once or twice already. From one book to the next because we're trying different things with how the book club runs. So it's still in its early days. It's still finding its footing. We're reading our fourth book right now. I don't have a physical copy. I have an ebook copy, but it's Crown of Elova, I believe, is the title. And I started the first chapter, but I have to dive back in. I haven't had a chance to get really, really in there. To be honest, 2025 needs to stop, dude. It needs to stop. Any route to publication is great. Writing and publication are two different things. Writers want to write. Publishing is just a means to an end for some of us. Well said. I wish you the best of luck with the career letters. Thank you. I did a lot of heavy, heavy research and continue to do so through the process. Um, and the first thing I did was I called my friend Nina, who I interviewed on my channel long, long ago, way back in the early days. She is one of those um, um, one of those stories where like she's like, you can't do it the way I did it because it doesn't happen. Like this was lightning in a bottle kind of thing. Which is like her first novel ever was published under a Disney imprint. So she, first literary agent got her right into the big dogs. So yeah, like that's a that's a miracle story. That doesn't happen for everybody. But she gave me some really great pointers on where to go to find literary agents, how best to approach them, and where to find good resources for managing that whole process. Like, it's a lot, but I am way more invested and interested in the process of landing a great literary agent than I have been with any other part of the process other than writing, right? Because, like, as you say, writers want to write, publishing is a whole other thing. And those of us who self publish, it's so much work. and we're doing all of that stuff, and that stuff is not necessarily super interesting, you know. So so it's great to have this like new focus and this new drive for like this new goal, and I'm working really hard to get there. And if I can make that happen, then the next goal is, okay, let's get published at like maybe one of the big four, you know, like let's. And it's crazy because I'm essentially um querying for my second novel, which is the second in a series. So the hope is that they'll be interested in the series as a whole. Maybe we'll re-release the first book, get a fresh edit on it, get a new cover if they insist on the cover being a different theme, or maybe they'll work with me on how I want the covers to look. Who knows? We'll see. But it's a whole new adventure. I'm really, really, really excited about it. You're going to put up content following your query journey. That's a great suggestion. Um, I should have. I should start like a maybe like a video, like a vlog series on that process. Yay, nay, good idea. You write that down. Oh yeah, my notebook is in my Dungeons and Dragons box because I started playing with my kids. Uh, pen. Okay, vlog on lit agent process. Great idea, Ava. I love when you stop by. Keep you and sorry for the claps. I will keep you and your family in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much. We could use all of that, all the good vibes. Send them this way. Like right now, just doing that, like my everything clicks. Everything hurts. It sucks. Boom, bang, boom. Manifesting it. That's what I'm talking about. Talk about your journey to trad publish. Can be live streams. I'm sure people would be interested. Yeah, I'm interested in that stuff. Getting ready to go live. We'll keep you up for the watch time. Hey, you are awesome. Thank you. That's sweet. You must have killer Wi-Fi. Which reminds me, which one am I on? I should be on this one. Huh. We still live? I thought I ruined something. Okay. Hmm. Uh, Margaret does primarily live stream works as well. Works well. A Chad Pubco would make so much on your books. They're amazing. Yo, Maggie's my biggest cheerleader. Thanks, Maggie. You're awesome. So nice of you to say those nice things. Shannon rocks. I told Kaufman was myth jokingly because we did your book club for almost 2 years and we finally got to my book and the show stopped before we did the talk. So I know I'm so sorry. But that's when, all the shit hit the fan. So um now I haven't even considered bringing back the book club because again I don't know what scheduling is going to be like, and I just started this new job and recovery, blah blah blah. But never say never. I just know that you're super busy now. However, doing your book, you wouldn't be in the until the interview. We'll talk. Yeah, that sucks, man. There's no one in my stream anyway, so I'm here. Oh, they'll get there. You always have way more people than I do. Not hard to say, just whatever that feeling is when life is ironic. Yeah, yeah. It's sorry. I'm gonna make it up to you. I said on Right Now stream last night that for every hour spent writing, 4 hours or more is spent editing. True. Still alive. Okay, cool. I think a good apology would be to have Shannon's book appear on Right Now's Read Now if it hasn't already. Um, I don't have the power to do that. It's a poll thing, just like ours was. The community votes on books, and also they change the genre every month, which is also different from what we were doing necessarily. I think. So yeah, so we did a we did like a urban fantasy kind of deal. I don't know. It was I don't know what to call that first book, but then we did mine, and then we did a romance, uh, one of Emma Bennett's romances, and now we're doing a like big fantasy epic, um, because it's like fantasy month over there. So yeah, when the proper genre comes up, you best believe that I will nominate, but everybody votes. So we'll see. Caught me off for that, but I feel I would be forced. It would be forced, and I wouldn't like that feeling. Yeah, like it's always better when they voted in, right? Besides, like I want to read it, so I'm gonna push for it anyway. I was excited to read it when it came up on ours. I don't think you have enough power to force people to do things. I try to get my books on, but have never made the finals. It's not over yet, Maggie. We'll we'll get you in there. We'll get you in there. I do not want them to do mine again either for the same reason. So this is one of those situations of don't do as I do. Yours is great. I need to read this month's book, but I have so much on my plate. Yeah, same. Um, like I started it and it was taking notes, and then like I had to stop and put it down to do something, and then I just never got back to it. I need to. Oh, okay. It's in the Discord. It's in the Discord. So, yeah, the Discord has a read now thread, and that's where you go. Yes, yeah, you're busy. You don't got time for that nonsense right now. Yeah, there's that too. Um, yeah, I'm finding some newfound motivation and drive to get this stuff done. So allergies in the pale moonlight. Oh, Discord is a thing I avoid until I can't. But remind me, and I'll go vote for your books, Maggie. Yeah, it's in the Right Now community. They have a read now thread, and that's where you go. I assume it was sarcasm, but read it a few times. Like, did she mean that? Well, anyway, um, I'm gonna play with this a little bit because I'm not crazy about the color. Let's try the gold, which I don't think is gonna work as a background. Yeah, no. But what if we reverse? It's not bad. Yeah. Or classic and the red. I think red and gold was the way to go. Good question. Yeah, can you? Yeah, I think you can. That looks nice. But you're right, it's too dark. Devin, welcome. Howdy. Uh, I'm just goofing around and doing stuff. We're just chit chatting, talking about life and the author gig. How are things with you, Devin? How's the family? How's the writing? Yeah, this one. All right. Instead of that one, since there's a time delay, talk to me about colors. So the black background and the red foreground, that was better. Better than this. When you say you're done with it, do you mean it is finished or do you mean you are finished? Yeah, it sounds like you are finished with it, but it is not finished with you. Oh yeah. Boom. Okay, cool. I was just checking something. Black comments on black background was the way to go. Purple is not in my brand colors. However, I do have this. Let's try the black background. And then I have a highlight color that is not one of my primary colors, but it's one that I use. It's from the secondary color palette for my brand, and it is this very interesting teal. Thoughts? Yeah, true. Yeah, well, I believe in you. You can do it. What time do you anticipate streaming? And do you plan to stream consistently? So, my work schedule right now is it's not that it fluctuates a lot, but it can. So, it has a basic structure to it, but I have to remain flexible for when people call out. I'm the guy that fills in for everybody because I need the hours. So, um, so because of that, I don't want to commit to a rigid schedule. However, it would mostly be mornings, daytime hours. I don't anticipate many evenings, um, or even late afternoons. It would probably be morning, early noon hours. Um, it will probably be pretty impulsive, impromptu, but I will always announce it with some uh, notice, whether it's a half an hour or an hour, um, across my social medias and all that stuff. I didn't do that today because I'm just goofing around. I'm just trying stuff. I put a post on YouTube itself, and that's it. So, but yes, normally I will let you guys know. What is it for the smoky comment background on dark background looks very clean. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. Black background was way easier for my eyes. Okay, good to know. On the lighter background, the smoky comment looks chunky. Okay, so this looks sleeker. This is so calm and matches my YouTube dark mode very well. The accent color is great with teal too. I like this one. Ooh, teal, I like it. I'm partial to teal. Okay, all right. Teal is teal is popular. I like the teal. Also, with you wanting to do primarily live streams and wanting income faster, have you looked into Twitch? I haven't looked into it recently, but yeah, that's that's a thing. Um, I'm a little intimidated by Twitch. It's just it's a lot. I'm kind of an old guy uh, at this point. I'm 40. I like things to be sleek and clean and uncluttered, and there is absolutely no other word to describe Twitch but cluttered. It, to me, it's just my ADHD just kind of goes crazy when I look at a Twitch screen. So when I'm a guest on a Twitch stream, uh, that's perfectly fine with me because I can just sit there and answer questions and do my writing, and that's fine. But hosting on Twitch, I'm very very frightened of. But it's money, right? So I will search my soul and I will look into this. Shannon and I are kindred spirits. Twitch and I are not friends. I'm saying, like, it's just that's for young folks, man. Like, I can that's for young people. There's room for the simplest version of things there too. Okay, okay. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. We'll see. We'll see. I do have a Twitch account over there. I could stream to it right now if this free version allowed multiple destinations, but it doesn't. Um, if I end up buying it, I'll give it a try. Uh, yeah, it's I like it. It's not bad. This place, it's not bad at all. I can't with Twitch. Too much for my simple, clean brain. See, that's what I'm talking about. I can't get a Twitch streamer account because I don't have a cell phone. Oh, is that a thing? I can only watch. I have to say that I do enjoy FMux. Yeah. How do you say this? Is it EV Mux? Is it Eve Mux? Is it EvMux? Is it FMux? What is this place? Where am I? Um, I went into Gemini and I punched in like, give me alternatives to StreamYard. It's too expensive. And he's like, here you go. And EvMux like jumped out at me. Cheshire Pope is a creator I suggest. He's consistent and has recently become a full time author, his 9 to 5 going away. This is what I'm looking for. And you're saying that he did this by going live on Twitch. I'll look into it. He often starts streams at 6 a.m. Central Time. Oh, Central Time. Yikes. Um, okay, so that's what, 7 or 8 here. I've always said EV Mux. Okay, EV Mux. Don't know if that's right. See, Eevee. Eva. EV. Oh, there's a Pokemon called EV Mux. See, uh, my nerd card has been revoked. His job let him go. He didn't do this going live on Twitch. He did this writing a good story that did well on Vela, and then got picked up by Tapas, along with a brand new exclusive there. Nice, nice. On the EV Mux YouTube, they say EV Mux. But I heard of him from Twitch, and I'm a reader and fan of his stories. Cool. All right, I'm gonna check him out. And Cheshire Pope is his name. Cheshire or Cheshire, depending on how you pronounce it. Pope. I will look him up. Cool. Outstanding. Um, Now, I have to figure that most of you did not see the thumbnail for this little stream because I'm guessing if, well, I know that you found me after, excuse me, after the stream went live. So I just want to pull it up here because it's fun. Where am I? I have so many folders. I need to clean up all this stuff. Author platform, YouTube, sprints and more. Let me take a look at my thumbnails and boom, there we are. I put this thing together fairly quickly um, before going live, and then went live, so I don't feel like anybody saw it. Oh, okay, some people did see it. First one YouTube homepage where I logged in. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. I'm gonna show it anyway. Here we go. Where is it? Window, boom, share. Okay. Add to scene. Okay. I'm sharing this mostly because I'm playing with the platform. I'm trying to get a feel on how everything works. Yeah, so this is Whiston. He is a knight in my second novel, and he's one of the few secondary characters that doesn't use the magic system. He's just a badass with a blade, and he has a really big part to play with Faye's story. And there's some big secrets involved in him, in his story. I'm very much looking forward to finding out what you guys think about all these new characters. It does look something like a dark elf, doesn't it? It also looks very much like what Marco Pady is described as in book one, does he not? Um, I could also say that about one of my other new main characters. I'll show it to you over here. Where are you, buddy? Okay. Bingo. All right. This guy. I've shown him before, but exit share screen, share this new screen, share the window, make it bigger, all that stuff. Boom. All right, this guy. So this is Itzel Kwan, and Itzel is one of my new side characters. he's the driving force of the plot in the beginning. He's like the catalyst of the story. When he shows up looking like this, uh, you best believe that Migdalia had some thoughts. He straight up looks like a young Marco Pady. So, what's all that about? Well, I think it's clear that's the dominant race on the planet, right? Ba-ba-bum. Fried rice with stir fry and ramen bowls are prepped. Wow, man. You really are a superhero. Like, that's crazy. So, I am querying book two of the Mythic series, which is called The Face of Gaia. And with the added, content of the first novel being available for re-release and my outline for the rest of the series as well. Um, the the second book is separated into five parts, Brandon Sanderson style. And so the first part is finished. It's not professionally edited, of course, but it's as clean and presentable as I can get it on my own. And I'm using that as source material for the query letters and whatnot. You like him? Still prepping my heart for the sibling reunion. Okay. That's totally gonna happen. That's totally gonna happen in this next book immediately, and without incident. Thank you. I'm hopeful. As I said earlier, I'm sending out a letter a day. I haven't sent out today's yet. I sent out yesterday's fairly late. I'll get to work on mine a little later, and I'll be wrapping things up here pretty soon. But yeah, querying, man, it's a whole other thing. It's pretty wild stuff, to be honest. It's yeah, because it's like dating, right? Like you're like looking for a partner. It's wild. I need to, don't I? Yeah, that's the name of the game these days. Is the short content. I should, but see, this is exactly the thing that there's the exactly the kind of thing that tripped me up before is getting on here and being like, I'm gonna do this, and this, and here it comes, and then it doesn't come. Why? Because things get in the way. So doing short content would be fantastic. Uh, per I think here's what I'll say. I have a hierarchy of goals. Top of the list is finishing novel number two. Second on that list is finding a literary agent. So every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is write my words for the day. When I'm done with that, my focus is on finding an agent. I have a list of agents that I have my eye on. Every day I pick a different one and I work on that one that day. So that's my goal right now. I have no goals for the YouTube channel right now, other than to return to it and start doing stuff whenever I can. That means stuff like this. That means writing sprints. Those are easy to throw up. That also helps me with my productivity. Excellent. So all that is in the cards. Um, I'm just not going to commit to anything. However, once I find my literary agent and I have a partner in crime, and then that hopefully leads to, not hopefully, inevitably leads to a traditional publisher making an offer, paying me my advance, giving me that opportunity to stop working a day job and instead focus on my novel. I finish that novel. That novel goes out to editors. I finished the short stories I've been working on. I finished the novella, which is more along the lines of what Devin is hoping for. And then with all of that stuff, I think that all of the YouTube content will be easy to produce from then on. I don't want to commit to anything yet, but I have every intention of returning to producing stuff on YouTube. Yeah, sorry about that. It may fit into your schedule better, the short content, but I don't know if it's necessary. YouTube is still the number one place for long form content. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel like YouTube and Instagram both had like reactions to TikTok existing. I can't talk today. They both had reactions to TikTok's existence, and that is this whole short content thing. But two things that I believe are fairly common. Number one, they're usually the cropping of long form content, which is, in other words, a drive to get you to that long form content, or it's stuff from TikTok that they're just re uploading on those other platforms. So that short content stuff is more TikTok stuff in my eyes, and I do intend on revitalizing that part of everything too. It's just so much. So right now, like I said, I'm focused on the lit agent, and all that other stuff is back burner stuff that I'm going to do fun stuff with when I can. But I'm not looking to get balls deep in anything over there, so to speak. I'm I'm really trying to focus on getting the thing done. Lit agent, trad publishing, new phase to everything. Let's go. Those are the goals. That's what I'm focused on. Whoa, what was which tidbit? Yeah. So thank you. Yes. That's the thing, man. Is I'm 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 putting all of my energy into that. It needs to. I don't know you know what this is. It needs to. All right, y'all. Um, this has been fun to play with. I'm gonna come up with a nice dark background. I do have I do have mm, 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 let's see. Okay. So where's my folder? There it is. All right. I do have like the background, excuse me, from my website, which looks like this. Now it's not going to let me upload it because it's a free tier we're playing with, but it will look like this. So it would be this one. I think that nice dark background with the teal and the dark uh, comment background. I think this looks nice. What do you guys think of that? It's hard to know without my face in front of it, right? But I think that is going to look really nice once I get it up there. That's what she said. Um, I don't know. I dig it. Super Saiyan. Yeah, that's thank you. This is my favorite image that I've ever created. Yeah, the teal is thank you, Laura. The teal is one of my brand colors, is from the secondary color palette. So it's all in there. The red is in there as well. The gold is in there. I like to use my brand colors in everything. They're even present in my book cover. Um, the teals on this are my teal. The reds on this are my reds. My brand red. Those yellows from the birds right there. That gold. That's my brand gold. All of this is my brand gold. So even my book cover matches my branding. Um, but yeah, this is my favorite image I've ever made. It's the planet Gaia from my book. It's the spark. Um, I also have the opposite angle where the spark is big in the front and Gaia is in the back. But the spark is such a complex image that you can see all of the sort of you can see all the stitching that I had to do to create it. So I like to keep it kind of slightly out of focus and in the background. But yeah, but yeah. Okay, so cool. Um, I think that's gonna be the background. I like this thing. I like its capabilities. It does all the things that StreamYard did. I need to look into the pricing and see uh, what we're gonna do. But for now, we're gonna stick to the free thing and just do stuff on the channel from when I can. What audiobooks have you been listening to lately? I can't remember from the last newsletter. So so since switching my day job from the greenhouse to the hotel, which is what I was doing before, I've sort of lost the ability to just listen to audiobooks all day. I used to do that at work at the greenhouse. I was trimming trees all day, listening on my audiobook, and I was perfectly happy with that. Um, so I don't have as much time to listen to audiobooks anymore because now that I'm home, it's just harder to do. You got the kids, you got the wife. There's so many things going on. Like I can't focus on my audiobook. That being said, I am listening to The Shining by Stephen King. Um, it is my first proper horror novel. I have read slightly scary things before, and I've read a novel that was supposed to be horror but wasn't particularly scary, which shall remain nameless. Although some of you know what it was. That's my rabbit scratching on the door. But what was I going to say? But this is my first proper horror novel. And what I'm finding is Stephen King is a fantastic writer. I read The Green Mile. I love his writing. Um, he's a great writer. It's very well written. Um, and I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm discovering that I'm not a horror fan. Um, at least I don't think so. So I'm about halfway through. The creepy stuff is kicking in, and it's getting crazy. It's gonna get crazier, and I'm gonna finish it because that's how I roll. But I'm not enjoying it. If you know what it is, if you know what it was, can you message me and tell me what it was, please? What was? Um, I know the book you're talking about. Oh, oh, if you know what it was, can you message me and tell me? Okay, I can tell you. Everyone, Shannon knows what it was. I believe I didn't find it scary either, which was good because I don't like horror. I think you're thinking of exactly what I'm thinking of, Shannon. Yes. Um, I love Stephen King's thrillers. I have not finished a single of his horror novels, though. I was just talking about this the other day and was considering giving one another try. Yeah, I mean, if you like horror, I just don't. I don't even particularly enjoy horror movies. I don't like them when they lack heart. I enjoy horror movies that have a lot of heart, which makes them less of a horror movie. For example, something like A Quiet Place. That movie has a lot of heart. Is it terrifying? No, but that's why I can stomach it. you know, um, The Sixth Sense, very scary, uh, but it has so much heart that I get through it. Um, but something like when I was younger, I watched what's that Rob Zombie one? House of a Thousand Corpses, I think it's called. I didn't enjoy a second of it. It's just I'm not into that stuff. It's just not for me. One of the first books we did. Yeah, one of the first books we did. I felt The Shining was more thriller. Really? Okay. Well, you know what it is? It's the problem is I don't know what y'all subscribe to, what your belief systems are, whatever, doesn't matter. Point is, um, as described in the book, some people have a shining to them, and I have a bit of a shining to me. And my wife does as well. Hers is different. Mine is ghosts. I have seen many, many ghosts in my life, um, fairly regularly. I don't find them in real life to be particularly scary. I haven't encountered many scary ones, but I tend to avoid really, really scary, bad places that might have them. Um, in my experience, most of them are just kind of lost or moving through here on their way somewhere else, things like that. This is me. You don't have to believe whatever. Point is, uh, stories about ghosts typically don't scare me. The Sixth Sense doesn't scare me because, like the kid in The Sixth Sense, for those of you who haven't watched it, spoilers. Um, they're sometimes they just want help. They have unfinished business. They need somebody to talk to. They're looking for a connection, something like that. They don't mean any harm. But something like The Shining, the book, I haven't watched the movie. I can't watch stuff like The Exorcist. I can't watch stuff like that. Um, I watched moments of The Exorcist and never went back. I can't do it. Um, but then something like John Constantine, for example, I can because even though it's all exorcist, ghost, demon stuff, it's very fantastical. It's very, actiony and stuff like that. So like it's more palatable. So you know what I mean? Like there's flavors that I play with, but some stuff I just stay away from because it's too real. You know what I mean? And so like The Shining, it's feeling too real to me. The way that they talk about this shine that the kid has, um, it just rings a little too close to home, and it's scary. Let me see. You should try King's Misery, the one about the writer. I've watched the film. I love that film. I don't consider that horror. Um, that's definitely like just like kind of like a disturbing thriller, but I don't consider that a horror. I agree with this. Stuff like the stuff that Guillermo del Toro does. Um, Crimson Peak, gorgeous work of art, masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like that. I love that stuff. That the artful horror. You know, the ones who are making a work of art. I haven't watched Nosferatu yet. I hear it's really scary, but I want to watch it. Like that's one where I'm like, I want to see that one. It just looks so well made. Like there's just so much vision behind it. Like I'm here for the art of it. I'm not a fan of horror with reading. I tend to stick with short stories. The other thing is I don't like watching horror movies in my house. There's something about like inviting that energy into the home. I like going out to theaters to it because then I can leave it there. Um, so a lot of times if I don't watch the horror movie in the theaters, I never watch it. I can go for supernatural thrillers, possession, ghosts, and the like. Yeah, like thrillers. As soon as you throw the word thriller in there, I'm in. You know what I mean? Exorcist, no, thank you. Constantine, yes, please. uh, Slasher movies aren't my thing. Like I like The Stand and the Dark Tower series was okay. Cujo and Pet Cemetery made me sad. I started the first Dark Tower on audiobook and I DNF'd it. I did not finish. Yeah, it was not my cup of tea. Slasher movies aren't my thing. Like you said, there's no heart. Yeah, it needs heart. It needs heart. It's got to have some kind of soul to it. DNF The Shining. I don't want to DNF it. You know why? Because I haven't watched the movie, and I don't intend on watching the movie because, like I said, I don't like inviting those vibes into my house. Uh, Reading it for some reason is different for me because it lives in my imagination and I can let go of it there. Um, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it. I love his short story collections the most. I haven't read any of his short stories. I'm gonna check those out. Dark Tower series is one someone recommended me to try. if I wanted to try his horror again. I think it may be part of my HRCYED to list. It's too many random letters. I don't know what that means, but I haven't really made the list yet. But that might have been the native. We don't do evil ghosting. Ah, yeah, 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 totally. Like, no thanks. I grew up in a haunted house. It was cool when I was a kid. As an adult, I will sage the hell out of a house. Yeah, we sage our place on a regular basis. um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys know from my writing, you know, that witchy stuff. In my eyes, that's all real stuff, man. Like, um, so Devin and Maggie and Ava, I think you've read my book as well, right? You guys might find this interesting. So, okay, so in book one, we experienced through Faye this soft magic system that I created, where she's a magical being, and therefore she can do these magical things. And once she unlocks all her powers down there at the core, she can do all this kind of crazy stuff. Um, and the powers are accessible to her. Uh, the people on the Spark, the ones who are there, they're not her people. Her people are ancient beings and we don't know where they are. That's part of the mystery of the story. We'll get to that throughout the series. But the people who do live there, the Tundir, the ones who look like Marco Pady and have shapeshifter abilities, they don't have that inherent magic ability. So they have to create a hard magic system in order to sort of hack that soft magic system. And so, for those of you who know about chakras and the flow of energy and chi and all that kind of stuff, and also there's all us hippie folks with our crystals, and this one does this and that one does that, and this one is connected to your sacral chakra, and this one is all about the heart chakra. You know what I mean? Like how all these like different gems and stones and crystals all have like different um, energy affiliations and different effects that people believe that they can do. So in fantasy, we take real things and turn them up to 11, and that's what I'm doing in book two. So the Tundir are using this hard magic system to connect the stones to their chakras and their energy, and flow through it and create this kind of magic stuff. So um, that's what I like to do in my books, is to take the stuff that I actually believe is real and then not just pretend it's real, but turn it up to 11 and, you know, go full fantasy with it. I watched the original It as a child. That's horror. I've watched a lot of horror films for someone who doesn't like horror, to be honest. I've never watched It. Uh, I've never watched the original. I want to watch the new one. But again, I don't want to invite it into my house. So I don't know when, if ever, I'll get to watch it. Like I have to go to someone else's home and watch it, or maybe someday it'll get a re-release in theaters and I'll be able to go. But I DNF'd The Shining, Pet Cemetery, Cujo, and a few others of his horror in my young adult years. That caused my lifelong clown phobia. Yeah, it. Yeah. Can't even type out that word. Finished The Green Mile. I have the 6 book serial set, Insomnia, and more recently, 11/22/63. I watched the 11/22/63 miniseries, and it was very good. Uh, the Green Mile is one of my favorite films of all time, and the book is very, very good. But I did find it to be one of those few examples of the film adaptation elevating the source material a bit. The performances of the characters in that movie really does make that emotional core, drive home. Um, I enjoyed the book. I gave it a 5-star rating if I remember correctly, but the movie is just so far beyond that. I read Dark Tower when they first came out, but I would not reread. Hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. A reading challenge created by Q Wordy. Oh my gosh. The Colorado Kid by King. Chef's Kiss short story. Will not read again. See, That it's a chef's kiss short story, and you will never read it again. And I get that, you know, that's like it's like Requiem for a Dream, right? Like it's a masterfully made movie, and I'll never watch it again. Love this bit of world building. That's like the wizards in my book. Wizards hack into the earth to pull the magic. Exactly. Yeah. So, for Faye, if you remember in book one, she would have to have something from Gaia with her to sort of power her up a little bit, whether it's a flower from her little Gaian tree or anything else like that. Um, and it's because Gaia is the source of power, and so for her, just being in its proximity is enough to fuel her. But for the rest of them, they have to literally like grab a piece of the planet, hence a crystal, a gem, a rock, a stone, a diamond, and so that is a piece of Gaia. It's an actual like physical part of her, and therefore holds magic within it. Then it doesn't have the spider. That was nice. I heard about the spider. But you know what? The spider's in the book, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't read it, but I heard that it's in the book. So more accurate. QWordy is on YouTube. She's fun. I'll be participating. Yeah, I love QWordy. She's awesome. It was a hard pass by me. I don't do skinwalkers or soul spinners. Yeah, I understand the aversion to skinwalkers. In my adult years, I have become more and more weary of fucking skinwalkers. The film was incredible. I'm going to try, but I don't expect to beat the challenge. I just want to. Awesome. All right, y'all. I feel like I'm caught up on the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. I was just kind of playing around. I hung out a lot longer than I intended to because you guys are so nice and kept me such great company. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback on the designs. I'm going to, you know, incorporate them moving forward, get a nice design going. It's going to look very sci-fi fantasy, and that's going to be great. I have you know what? Let me How about a special treat before I go? How about a little special treat before I go? I'm going to open up my manuscript program here, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to go into my outline materials and I am going to pull up my cast of characters and I'm going to share that screen because I want to show you guys some cool stuff. Yeah, treats, Devin, treats. Treats. All right, so so when we look at my protagonist characters, you'll see some familiar faces. You've got your Migdalia, you've got your Faye, and you've got your Lear, and our newest member of the cast, Itzel Kwan. The banner is where they hail from, and since the events of the first novel, our trio has been living on the planet Gaia in a log cabin that they built by hand. Antagonistic characters, including some monstrous forms. Uh, we're gonna do some weird stuff in book two. We've got some stuff going down. Even vampiric in nature. And if we go into our cast of supporting characters, well, then things get a lot deeper. And a special treat for Maggie in particular, the Knights of the Quantum Vanguard, who will have their own novella and appearances in short stories in upcoming publications. There's uh there's a lot of new stuff coming. I've been working really hard. I haven't even shown the new cities, uh, the uh, uh, the magic system. Like I have a whole section of that back thing for the magic system. Lots of good stuff. All right, y'all. I'm outie. Thanks and thanks. Love you guys. Take care. Keep writing, and I'll catch you next time. Watch for social media updates and YouTube updates for when I'm gonna go live. I'll try to always give some notice. All right, y'all. Peace out.